One, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 28. It's been 4 weeks now of 100 days of code. As always, this is the code call, and we have our esteemed guest Leon Andersen here with us. Leon, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing great. Yeah, today I spent time with my setup. Um, I did one of the homeworks, um, and for a few hours I um, I did how's it called um, typing exercises to get used to QWERTY keyboard. Um, so yeah, I um, I'm really this was fun as well because it feels a bit like at first I was like, oh well, I'm not actually coding right now, but on the other hand, I know that I'm already so much faster in coding along with the course, and um, so at the moment, or I don't know how it's now, but I would say for the past few months I was around 30 words per minute. Um, Sometimes more, sometimes yeah, but I would say baseline around that. And I some of the exercises I did in the typing club um, that were really hard for me. I trained them up from 20 words per minute to 40, sometimes 50 words per minute, repeatable, and I got a new feeling for the keyboard. And I mean, this is not my um, I'm, I'm pretty sure I can't sustain 40 to 50 for long yet, but yeah, it's I noticed some noticeable progress today. I figured that there was some exercises where I was always missing the keys. I was just not I was not finding the correct position, and I was wondering, like, I mean, no, I didn't even know what the problem was, and then I figured out that I was just not finding the correct position, and then I focused more on feeling like the exact middle of the key, except instead of the general direction. Like I try to like get the keys like where they are. I don't know how to say it. Like merging with the keyboard. I don't know, but that really like increased my rate, my and the and decreased my mistakes significantly. And yeah, it feels way better. And yeah, I'm looking forward to one day buy myself a keyboard that is columnized, where the keys are not diagonally shifted from each other, like on usual keyboards. So I have them straight up and straight down. But so far, I had to consciously today. I had to consciously go into the diagonality of the keys, which I was never really paying that much attention to. I was always okay. U is on top of J. M is below J, but I was never like consciously trying to find the exact position, and this I don't know if that makes so much sense, but I feel like this is helping me a lot, and I'm really happy to be able to code to type much faster, and thereby being able to code along with courses, and also maybe someday being able to do the presentation here in the code call. Yeah, and so yeah, I guess I would spend quite a lot of time on that in the next few weeks. And yeah, the one homework I did was the first homework. You can already see it. I sent it to Aleph already. And yeah, I basically went through some on promises again. I found, or let's say before that, I tried to like the exercise. Do you have the description of the exercise, or shall I send it to you
I got
again?
it. I can pull it up in 1 second.
So basically, I went from line to line of that description, and I tried to just create individual snippets of that code, and then I tried to bring them all into each other. And yeah, I made some mistakes. For example, yeah, basically syntax issues to some degree, and a little bit also in terms of how the individual elements are nested inside of each other. But I got most of these elements right, and then I went through the videos and watched how I can put them together better, and asked for a hint. And yeah, one of the syntax errors or syntax mistakes was that I had a exclamation mark value 3 equals false. So I was I yes, so I had the exclamation mark in front of value to negate the whole to negate everything that's in the brackets. But that was, I mean, okay, would it work this way? How are you doing it?
No, it will not work because this basically says only if the value is not exactly false, then resolve.
But isn't that what you asked for? That function resolves after a given time if the value is not exactly false.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this could also work this way.
Okay. But the error I had was though that I didn't have the inside brackets, the inner brackets.
Got it. So basically what you're saying here, if you do this, is what JavaScript is implicitly doing behind the scenes is it is that this is valid JavaScript. This you can write it, but what this means is basically JavaScript will do this behind the scenes. It will cast the value to a boolean, and then it will negate the boolean. So it will true will become false, and false will become true. So that is not the same as what we did before, which is this. So the comparison, hey, is this value exactly false, and then negated, or the way that you would usually write it, which you had in your solution, which is this. If the value is not exactly false.
Yes. And yeah, so I in the process, I also asked a lot of questions about promises to ChatGPT, um, and I had yeah, to me it makes a lot more sense now. I feel like I need a little bit more practice, and there are more exercises coming, so I'm very excited about those. And yeah, I felt like this coding exercise was awesome to help me. I mean, ChatGPT said it is right. I'm not sure if you approve of it yet, but to me it makes sense. Um,
Are you still there?
yes, yes. I was asking if it's right, or if ChatGPT
I
would.
got it. The inflection in your voice made it sound like you wanted to add stuff and you're just
Yeah, yeah,
needing
yeah.
a pause to think.
Yes.
So I would say for the sake of you understanding promises, it is solved. However, if this was an exercise like university or something, you would get, let's say this exercise was worth 4 points, you would get three. Because one of the requirements was if the value is not exactly false. Um, oh, I formulated it wrongly. Like, oh no, well, okay, you'd get 4 points because the teacher is dumb and formulated the exercise wrongly. Usually, I write it in a way where the mentee should resolve with the given value after the time. So if this was the requirement that the promise should resolve with the given value, how would you change your code?
Um, I would write return value or somewhere in there, I would say.
But
I
then
mean,
it leaves this up as the exercise for because yeah, by not writing it in the exercise, I missed out on giving you a learning opportunity, which is what we're discovering right now. So let's maybe leave this also then as a bonus exercise for the next session. That you treat this function so it resolves with the given value if it's not exactly false.
I don't understand what you mean with resolving with the value. I mean, I
I
would.
know that you don't know that, but
Okay,
if I show this to you, then I would give away the exercise. So I'm
okay,
going to
okay,
write it down and send it to you via Signal.
okay, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard this way of saying, or this description of resolving something with without resolving a promise with value. I'm thinking of returning um, or console.logging it. Um, but yeah, I guess I will find out the resolving case. The promise should resolve with the given value. Reject with a new error. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And for the case of understanding promises, why is that wrong, or why is that because
No,
to
it's
me.
absolutely correct in the sense of the exercise given. The only thing that you're missing now, right now, is the understanding that promises can resolve with certain values and reject with certain values, which the exercise normally includes, but I messed up and wrote it down wrongly.
Got it, got it. Okay, okay. Yeah,
So
but
you
what was.
nailed the exercise for all intents and purposes, but the bonus will teach you the last thing that you need to learn about promises. That, which is also, I think, the question that we came across yesterday, which is like, okay, how does the promise know what it resolves with and rejects with? And you now learn how you can control when it should resolve and when it should reject. But you still need to learn, okay, how can I tell it with what value it should resolve and with what value it should reject?
Got it, got it. Yeah, but for me, the bigger question was like how to set the conditions that make it resolve or make it reject, and seeing um, yeah, seeing that it's possible with an if statement makes a lot of sense to me, and now I understand why stuff like yeah, I mean, are there different methods than using if statements to set these conditions?
Of course, right? All the stuff that we learned about conditions, I think 2 or 3 days ago, if you remember the operand selector operators, the two ampersands or the two
Yeah,
pipes, and even the ternary that we already spoiled, but I think that code has not covered yet. All of these can also be used to trigger a resolving or rejecting condition.
got it. And other than that, other than those?
Well, any logic that you can come up with, right? You can use to resolve or reject. Um, so, for example, that you might use something that is not built into JavaScript. So, as we progress, we are going to use certain libraries that help us with our logic. One of those libraries is called Lambda, which is just it's a wordplay on Lambda. I'm going a little bit of a tangent here, but I'm going to tie it all together nice, neatly in a package. So basically, you're going to learn that JavaScript is actually a very powerful language that is supporting multiple of what you call programming paradigms. JavaScript supports multiple programming paradigms, and the two paradigms that the language supports is functional programming and object-oriented programming. And the functional programming approach in mathematics basically is called lambda calculus. And therefore, lambda is the wordplay on lambda calculus because yeah, a lamb and a ram are pretty much the same animal with different horns and stuff. And so this library, Lambda, is made for the functional programming aspect of JavaScript. And using this library, you have a lot of other options that you could also use to trigger certain conditions. So that being said, I think that built in the language, you only have, like, let me think, you could have a switch statement. You can have the if then. You can have the operand selector operators. You can have the ternary. I think that's it. Maybe we'll discover more, but those are definitely in language the ones that you're going to use the most. So to answer your questions, in the language without any helpers, yes, probably those 5 are it. I might be missing some here, but probably those are it. But then if we include other stuff, which we're going to do later on in this journey, then yeah, you will have more options to also trigger resolving and rejection of promises.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess I need more exposure or more practice with different cases, and yeah, but this helped already. I've I'm
Of course, all of this is also only going to build on what you've known now. Like the hard part, the 80%, the 20% that gives you 80%, you've already learned those once you complete both of the bonus exercises. So if you complete both
got
of
it.
the bonus exercises, then you will have the basics of promises down, and everything else will just be like a tiny bit, make it a tiny bit more special, but it's going to be very easy for you to put into context.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm still looking back at the filter, map, and reduce exercises with excitement, because I feel like they showed me some important principles, and I feel like I'm getting this now with promises as well when I'm following the exercises, and that feels very comforting.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. Then, yeah, so one thing that I also wanted to add, because you mentioned that you're learning a new keyboard, right? And for those people that have been following Leon's learning from the beginning, you can see that in this first month, he made two decisions that you could call crucial about how he wants to learn programming. One was that he deliberately decided to use Vim, and the other one was now that he is switching to a QWERTY keyboard. And the thing is that you can take away from this is these decisions are best made at the start, and they do slow you down a little bit in your learning, right? Because especially when you learn a new keyboard, you never want to go back to your old one, right? Because you really need to reinforce the muscle memory. You really need to force your brain to use this new way of typing, and also you do not want to cheat at all. So one of the reasons they call it touch typing is because you basically only want to feel where the key is. You don't want to look at your hands all the time. You want to try as much as you can to just stare at your monitor and then just type by feeling the letters. And the site that Leon uses, Typing Club, I think, it has exercises that are tailored to teach your body exactly that. And then the main point here is if you want to pick up these things, it's usually very good if you just do it at the beginning from the get go. Because otherwise the relearning will slow you down at a later date, and it will be even harder because then you have formed habits that you need to unlearn, and then you need to learn new habits, which is just a lot more time consuming than just learning something new from scratch when you've never done it before. That is the reason why Leon chose to focus on his setup right now in the first month when it's still fresh and when the impact of this decision is not too big in the grand scheme of things. Cool.
Yes.
So, as always, if you are learning how to code right now, keep in mind one of the important things is just stick with it every day, learn something new every day, and your knowledge will compound and will accumulate. Obviously, a day spent 8 hours coding, you will learn more than you will than like a day where you only put in 30 minutes or 10 minutes. However, the days lost are really crucial because once you stop coding, then it is okay to not code. And then it can really quickly happen that you just stop this journey. And that is not good. You want to continue this journey and you want to stay on this journey and you want to keep walking on this journey, on this path, because it will lead you to a great outcome. And the most important thing with habits and with the programming habit is to make it a part of you. You are a programmer now, and the programmer is someone who talks to machines every day and who learns how to speak the language of machines every day. And you happen to just have chosen, if you follow the same course as Leon, you've chosen to learn JavaScript, which, in my humble opinion, is the best language that you can learn. And the crucial point is that you put yourself in front of the computer every day. If it's just 10 minutes, it's just 10 minutes. Try to maximize the time in front of your computer, but do it every day to build that habit, to build that new identity, and to really get those compounding effects on your programming skill. That being said, Leon and I are here to hold your hand all the way, the whole journey. You can see Leon's progress and you can see your own progress and you can learn from these extra exercises that we give you, which are great complementary material to Code Steel's course. By the way, the course that we've been talking about is the Web Developer Bootcamp 2023 edition from Code Steel. You can find it on Udemy. Code Steel is written COLT-STEELE, Code Steel. Um, yeah, and just follow along with the stream. If you're watching the recordings, welcome. If you're tuning in live, you can always put your questions in the comments and we will answer them live for you too. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been the Code Call with
Leon Andersen and my mentor.
Alice Mill from 10x Dev. Stay coding.
Bye bye.